I'm Hans Lystrom. You're watching Farmann TV. Today is April 30th, 2009. And these are market comments for today. And the markets keep rallying, and we're quite surprised about the strength in the rally. There seems there's no end to it, but believe me, there will be an end to it, and the reality of the situation will catch up with the markets. Of course, the markets are rallying due to a new growth and confidence. It seems, it's the Obama administration's crazy monetary policy through the Federal Reserve, just printing enormous amounts of money and running these enormous deficits. Of course, all that money, it's trillions of dollars. Of course, all that money is going to prop up something, and the inevitable correction that started in 2007 and really got momentum in 2008 has, for a very temporary time, been pushed back by all this new money and all these promises of new money, and people are believing they're seeing green shoots all over the place. But this is the real thing. This is a recession is a temporary pullback of an underlying upgoing trend, while a depression is a real readjustment. It's when the temporary boom and the busts and the small adjustments have come to an end, where there's a true shift. So there's this curve that's been going up in a jigged motion since 1971, and then they've been able to prop it up again every time with new money, but it comes to an end eventually, and this is now. 2007, the crash of 2008 was the top of a mountain of debt and a mountain of fiat money, just printing money and propping up again and again and again. So we're in a situation, this is the real thing, is we're in a situation of real readjustment of the economy. And the downward motion that was set in place now, when we reached the top and went over it, the loss of confidence will be self-reinforcing, and it will necessarily have to play it out. I still say there's a small chance they might be able to prop it up with fiat money, with an international new monetary standard, with all kinds of debt instruments and bailing out everyone. There's a small chance, but I say it's 5%. That's what I give it. I'd say it's 95% chance that this is truly it, and that the downward motion, the readjustments, will have to play out in order for this economy to reach some kind of level where it's possible to grow again. And I'm scared about the whole thing, because I know the nature of politicians is to never admit failure and never admit that this is, the crash is inevitable and the readjustments are necessary, and the bankruptcies and the unemployment and all the pain and suffering that is going to be inflicted on people is necessary because of all the excesses in the past that the politicians are responsible for. And the voters voted in the politicians, so everyone's to blame. I made a video where I asked this, is no one to blame or is everyone to blame? And the answer is that everyone is to blame for this, and the only thing we can do is to try to awaken people and tell the truth and see if some sense can be put into the markets again and put into politics again, and to scale back government and to end the Fed and get rid of the Fed. So if we're concluding that this downturn, this readjustment is now inevitable and it has to happen, then I'd say let's make it good and hard. Let's break it down, so that we can possibly scale back government, scale back the U.S. military, scale back governments all over the world, scale back fiat money, go back to a gold standard with hard money, solid money. The scary thing with that, of course, is that it's kind of a revolution. We're facing now the greatest depression. That's the name of this depression, is readjustment. But it's also a revolution. Hopefully there will be a revolution for the better in this downturn somehow. But revolutions, by their very nature, are unpredictable, and it might as well go really ugly and go into totalitarianism, total fascism, and total war even. So the chances of liberty and freedom and the kind of things we value, of them being progressed in such a revolution, are slim, because there are all these forces. They're the green fascists, you know. They would rather, you know, some people say that people are the problem of the earth. Just get rid of all the people and the earth would be okay. So there are people that are having all these crazy ideas. And what if they, you know, get ahead in such a revolution? What if their ideas are what is taken up and new society is built upon? So, so the chances are that this can get really, really ugly. What we can do is to educate people, use the internet, do videos like I do, and have people think for themselves. Don't listen to me, or don't listen only to someone else. Just listen to many different sources and make up your own mind. That is essential. Make up your own mind and see through all the BS that's all over the place, and especially the government-sponsored BS. Everything that has the government backing it somehow. You have to be extremely critical to. Try to find individuals like myself and several different ones and make up your own mind about this craziness. I also believe that it's very important to pick up on the ideas of our ancestors from basically from the Glorious Revolution in England and all the way up to the First World War in 1914, and the ideas that were in that period, and the Renaissance and the Enlightenment and everything that they went through, and the ideas that came up with. Because now we take, you know, our generation has been taking so much for granted. We take liberty for granted. We take economic progress for granted. Take so much for granted that it truly is not granted. And we have to go back. And especially in the U.S., I believe it's possible to really hold on very hard to the Constitution. And whatever happens, you know, if there's going to be a movement of secession where Texas breaks out and California breaks out, and then these new states, you know, they could go back to the Constitution of the United States and build a new state and separate a seceded state based on those documents and those ideas. Because I would be very scared to see a Texas or Florida or California breaking out, especially California, and building something new on the contemporary ideas of green fascism and you know, the crazy liberal progressive ideas around the Bay Area and all that. If they build founding a new state and a new government based on that, it's going to be really, really ugly. So I really hope that the ideas of our ancestors there, our great-great-great-grandfathers, will be picked up upon again, and that our new society is going to be built on that. Okay, that was a diversion. But the important thing is that you have to make up your mind. Is this a real correction? Is this just a temporary, you know, pullback, and then it's happy-go-lucky and new money and printing and everything will be fine again? Or is this the real thing, a real correction, a depression? That's what a depression is, a correction of what's been going on. And if you believe that this is a depression, as I do, based on the Austrian School of Economics, based on what we've seen before, based on Ludwig von Mises' theories and what he saw happening in the Austrian Empire when it fell apart, then you know that this boom, this bear market rally that we've been seeing for the last few months is very temporary. So you just have to get out of it. Sell your shares, sell your assets, sell your real estate before the real crash comes. I believe we're in for a real crash that's going to be much worse than what we saw in 2008. Commercial real estate going to collapse. Eastern Europe going to collapse. The currencies are going to collapse. The dollar is going to collapse. The euro is going to collapse. The gold is going to go to the moon. And so this correction has only just begun. And you have to make up your mind. The essential question is this the real thing? Is this a depression? And if it is, then get out, you know. Shorting the market is the thing to do, but it's very hard to short the market because you have to get the timing right. But there are lots of things that you can do that don't require you to get the timing right. Just sell your shares right now. You're watching Farmann TV.